If you want to be a top footballer, you'll also need to get fit. Like, very fit. But where do you start? Well, today I've put together a video with 27 fitness-related drills and tips that you can use to turn your body into a mean football machine. So, what are you waiting for?
The best thing to do is to break down your workout into parts. What we've got is our upper body, our explosive movement, our leg strength and power, and our core. On to the first one. All right, guys, so we've got 4 exercises in our push-up superset. The first one, of course, is out wide. So what you'll do, get your arms set out wide. You do not want to crouch like this. You guys don't want to hunch like this. As best you can, try and keep your body flat. Squeeze your core, squeeze your butt, squeeze your stomach. That'll keep things nice and tight right there. And then we'll lower down like this. All right, we'll do 10 wide push-ups. We'll then move in to a normal push-up. Keep our elbows in. We'll go like this, 10 more. Then we'll do diamond right here, like this. Put your arms in a diamond. Go down like that. That works your chest incredibly. And then, of course, we have our lovely push-up blowout set. 30 seconds. You're just getting in there, you're getting your push-ups, all right? You've got these one-handed push-ups, you can do those too, like this. I'm not gonna do it, I could do it. I could do it. I just don't wanna, embarrass you guys by doing I just don't wanna do it, right? But that's it, all right? So we have those 4 exercises, and that is what will bring us together for upper body, making us look good, rough, and tough. All right, so one of the most important parts of your game will be your explosive movement. No footballer is complete without having quick and fast movement when going to the goal or defending. So we've got 4 exercises right here for you. This is your Ronaldo Mbappe Super Series Tornado Earthquake Jammer 3000. All right, get ready for it. First, we set up with squats, simple squats. Everything we will be doing here, we do with sets of 10. 10 squats. Straight down, you can do squats right here, or you can go all the way down, ass to grass squat. Then we go to a lateral movement, all right? So that's our lateral lunges. You don't have to go all the way down like this. We want things to be quick, all right? So we'll go there, 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 all right? Next, we'll move on to scissor jumps. So that's a bit of a lunge jump. What you do is you're here, explode up and switch, explode up and switch, all right? And last but not least, of course, we have our squat jumps. So extending out and moving on. That's down and then up. All of these, what we want to do here is not just to get through them as fast as we can, we want to make sure our form is good as well. Once you're done with this, grab a little rest, grab your weights, because it's time to go hard. All right, so now to take things a bit further, if you want to add weights into your workout, that's something that you can do. Of course, depending on your age, you need to be careful at how much you lift and all that stuff. You can rest assured that most footballers do not lift a massive amount of weights with slow movements and stuff like that, because the game is not like that. You want to be quick. So what we have for you today, 2 simple, small dumbbells. You guys, you don't have to do these with weights. Of course, as we said, if you want to add a little bit of something here, we start with lunges. So the idea with lunges, and I'll turn to the side, that way you guys can see it. We don't want to extend out and put pressure on our knee like that. We want to keep everything in a 90-degree angle if we can. So when I do my lunge, I keep my body straight, I bend down like this and up, all right? There are a ton of different variations, but of course for today, because we've put so much load on our other legs, all we wanna work on today is just going up and down, keeping our form simple and just slightly loading the legs, like ballers. Now, compound movements are what footballers love to do. The reason for this is that you cannot isolate any of your muscles in a game. You are not gonna find very many footballers in the gym just doing bicep curls, because it doesn't apply to the game. So compound movements are where it's at. Right here, we've got a squat. We bend down. You can, of course, just bend down right here and keep it like this if you're feeling that that's enough for you. If not, if you want to extend it a little bit more, when you come up, you push and extend your arms here, all right? So you can see, obviously, in the clips that we're showing you, that's what happens, but slowly there, once you're near the top, you push and you extend your arms. For those of you that are trying to get faster, your hamstrings are gonna be very important to you, and RDLs are a drill that will help you do that. This is a very simple, relaxed drill. As you can see, we've got the 2 dumbbells here. As we bend down, slowly like this, we keep our arms close to our legs. Notice that our legs are fairly straight, not completely locked, but fairly straight. As we come down to here, we reach somewhere between the middle of our shins, and then we come back up into a straight position. That's gonna give you that speed, that Mbappe speed, that Ronaldo speed, that Usain Bolt speed. All right, so of course we have to work on our core. That is the key to all of your movement. Nothing moves without your core, all right? You cannot leave this guy behind. So we have a simple sit-up set, which of course you grab a ball if you want. You can grab a medicine ball. You go down, touch behind you, you'll come back up, and then you'll reach. All right, so down, up, down, up. Simple as that. All right, right there, simple transition into Russian twists. Don't know why they're Russian, but it's хорошо, я не знаю. Right there, all right? Boom. Lift your legs in the air, twist like this. Touch the ground each time. The faster you can go, the better, all right? From there, we'll move straight on to stabilization, all right? So it's not all about the movements, it's all about the twists. Planks are huge because they will also work your back, which is another key part of your core. So in here, don't slouch once again. Don't do that. Keep everything as flat as you can. Squeeze your arms and everything and squeeze your muscles as you're in this position. All right, and so you'll hold this position for about 15 seconds, maybe 30 seconds. If you're more advanced, of course, you can hold this for a minute or longer. All right, once you're here, we'll switch to the side. If you want to add something to it, raise your arm up in the air. If you want to add even more to it, lift your leg up in the air. Hold it there or pump like this, okay? There are even things you can do like this, all right? Get creative with it because that's exactly what we would do. Obviously then we catch this other side, same things apply. You can also do things like this. And once you're done here, you chill, relax, grab a drink, and roll out. Getting stronger as a footballer is a complex thing. You cannot just think, I'm gonna get swole. It's not gonna work, all right? You younger players have to be careful with the weights. So which is why we're gonna start with body weight, which is exactly what players do when they're in 10 to almost 18. Very hard work on coordination, power, and strength. And we can do this by doing number 1, push-ups. Here's a set that we did, U14 national team. Very simple, very easy, but if you put in the work, it'll be hard. Push-ups, back curls, squat sets, scissor jumps, squat jumps. These are the things that you need. Trust me on this. If you can get through these reps and these sets that we're talking about today, you are in good shape. Check it out. Yeah. Deep breath, get it in. The reason that we do this, my friends, is because we don't want to get huge and not quick. That's what we've got for you today. You want to get strong, but you don't want to get too... What we do is focus on coordination, explosive power, that sort of strength. The thing is that most of you guys have probably done this stuff, but you don't do it enough. You don't do it consistently. This is a 2 to 3 times a week thing. After 2 to 3 weeks, you are going to be flying. Comment on what day it is today. Come back after 2 weeks after you've done this 2 or 3 times a week and I guarantee that you will be stronger and faster. But of course, you can't neglect the gym. If you are of age, if you have grown, and it's time for you to get in the gym, that's what we got for you right now. As I was saying, the best thing for you to do in the gym is to mimic the sport, the game. That's what we really want. Hope you figured out that at least body weight stuff is where you want to start your core. You wanna move on, and then the last, very last thing we'll have to say, working on your flexibility and taking excellent recovery between sauna, ice bath, these will help your gains. Work hard, rest hard. Work hard, party hard. Work hard, crossbar!
To be able to last 90 minutes on the football pitch, you need to have a high level of fitness. But how do we train our football fitness when we're away from the game and training by ourselves? Well, to put it simply, we need to mirror the type of running we do in a match on the training pitch. And if we look at footballers, they're not always running at one steady speed. Sometimes you'll be sprinting, sometimes you'll be jogging, sometimes you'll be somewhere in between. And there are often times you're even walking if the ball goes out of play or if there's a free kick. We're always changing speeds. So this is the type of running we need to replicate in our training sessions. So here's a really simple exercise you can do if you have access to a full-size football pitch. So you start on the goal line. It's a slow jog up to the 18-yard line at about a 50% speed. Once you hit the edge of the box, you increase your speed a little bit up to about 75% until you get to the edge of the center circle. Once you hit the circle, it's a full-out sprint going about 90 to 100% all the way over to the opposite side of the circle, and you slow it back down to about 75%. Then you continue to slow down until you reach the opposite 18-yard box, and then you walk from the edge of the 18 to the goal line, and that's one repetition. Then you're gonna turn around, repeat this, going for about 10 repetitions to begin with. Each repetition should take you about 30 to 40 seconds. Another exercise that's really good if you only have access to half a pitch, you start on the halfway line. It's a slow jog from one side of the pitch to the other. Then you turn 90 degrees, then you increase your speed slightly to about 70% or so until you reach the corner flag. Once you get to the corner, you're gonna increase your speed once again to about 80 to 90%. And then once you hit the other corner, you're gonna do a flat out sprint all the way back to the start. Once you reach your starting point, you want to rest for about 30 seconds to a minute, and then you can repeat this one 5 times.
All right, my friends, listen, you're gonna need to look where you least expect. This is not a stamina video that just tells you you need to run. We are going to give you some stuff you've never seen before. Look where you least expect, that's your food. All of you guys putting those Big Macs into your face, shoving the sugar into your face, it's not helping. You don't think it's hurting your stamina? It is. You've got to get that good food in there. Now, good food, what that means is a whole bunch of different stuff for different people. We're all different, and what your body runs on, you have to figure out. I know you're waiting for me to tell you what exactly to do. That's not gonna happen. You gotta figure it out. Do you work better on rice, on bananas, on breads? Probably complex carbohydrates, okay? If you don't know what that is, we'll put the definition right. Okay? By and large, though, there are some simple things that you know you need to avoid. Refined and processed foods, absorbent amounts of sugar, you guys, these unhealthy fats, all of those things are not for you. We can give you just a giant quick list of things that you probably should be getting into right now, and now, and now, onto some more stuff. Are you breathing through your mouth? It's not helping. You are not a dog. Okay, you are a human, I think. Unless you come from Messi's family, they are aliens. Now, the reason you want to breathe through your nose is because it's going to make it more efficient for you. You are going to be able to run longer, recover quicker, and that's what we want. Now, this doesn't mean that you're not allowed to breathe through your mouth. It just means that habitually breathing through your nose is going to bring a whole ton of more benefits, and so you need to start doing it right now. One other thing, small little bonus here to get really crazy with it is when you go to sleep, what some athletes are doing is taping their mouths shut because you might have a tendency to sleep like that. And if you're doing that, it's not helping you, okay? So tape your mouth. Don't worry, you are not going to die. Everything will be fine. If you can't breathe, your body will wake up, okay? And now on to the point that you wish you could skip, but you just can't. Quick crossbar. You guys probably can't see that crossbar. Maybe you can. Ha, crossbar. Nailed it. In order to increase your stamina, you at some point are going to have to run more and work harder. That's going to be the only way for you to increase your stamina. So what that looks like for most pros is some form of interval training. You're not jogging for 6 years around the field slowly. That's a different type of thing, okay? That might be something for recovery. What you need to do is really get after it, okay? We want you to be pushing hard in the 90th minute, so that means you're gonna have to sprint. It looks like a full field sprint with 10 seconds walking back, and then another, and then rest, and then another, and then this time down the field, and then back down to the field, and then you get your rest, okay? Okay, we'll get to this part. We'll get to this part here. But the point is that interval training is going to help you. You've got to get up and back and up and down, and you have to do this at least once a week when you are in season. You cannot skip this. Interval training is going to help you along with this stuff right here. This one's gonna be out there for most of you. Some of you have heard of breath work, most of you probably have not. Now, what breath work is not just you, as we stated, going or I know some of you guys. No, breath work, what that is a series of breaths. Meaning something like this. We take 30 seconds. Right? At the end of 30 seconds, all we do is we exhale everything. And then we just hold, all right? What you're doing is training your lungs, you're training a whole bunch of complex systems that I'm too dumb to explain, but it's one of those trust me bros, okay? We can put up some information down below. Point is that when you, on the exhale, hold your breath. After you exhale and you've let everything out, you just simply sit there and hold, relax, close your eyes. When you feel that inkling to breathe again, you inhale and you hold for 15 seconds. That's it, guys, simple. You can do this over and over and over again. Of course, not while you're running, driving, or playing, when you have some time, okay? Sit there, relax, try it. Do it for a consistent amount of time and you will change your game. It will lower your anxiety. It'll start to push your stamina a little bit. Tons of stuff, tons of benefits, and we got one more. Once again, my friends, I told you this video is going to be out there as far as stamina is considered, and this last one, flexibility, stretching, yoga if you want to. The whole point is if you're putting more stress on your body, on your joints, you're not as efficient as you can be. Your body's gonna give up before your actual heart, your lungs are going to give up. Stretching, flexibility is going to improve your stamina. All these things sound crazy. The reason they sound crazy is because you have a body. It's a complex system, and if you're not doing all of the things, the 5 things that we talked about today, your whole body will not be as efficient as possible and you will be hurting your stamina, period. Some of you have no idea what's going to happen once you fix your food. Some of you have no idea what's actually going to happen when you do interval training consistently, or breath work consistently, or start breathing through your nose and start actually doing the stretches and yoga and things that are going to improve your game. Please, for the love of God, do not just watch this video and don't do anything. Take some notes. Look at what we've actually done here today and start right now.
So you might be wondering, why should we train fast feet? Well, it's going to help you in so many different areas of the game. It's going to help you with your change of direction. It's also going to help you on the ball as well. If you're quick with your feet, you can manipulate that ball around defenders and react in a split second. So with that in mind, let's get into the first exercise here. So the first exercise is moving forwards and backwards. Once again, we're just using these 2 cones here. So the pattern is 2 feet in, 2 feet forwards, 2 feet in, 2 feet backwards. And we're going to continue this pattern while synchronizing our arm movements with our foot movements. This is going to build efficient running technique, and it's going to help you be faster on the pitch. So this is what it should look like. So you're in, forwards, in, out. Backwards and forwards. For each of these exercises, we're going to do 10 seconds on, 10 seconds of rest, and repeat 4 times. For the second exercise, we're going to work from side to side. So we're starting inside the 2 cones. We're going to step out, jump back in onto the opposite foot, bounce onto the opposite foot once again, and out to the opposite side. So we're going to get into this pattern here. Once again, trying to use those arms in synchronization, and then we're going to get faster and faster and faster. Really be light on your feet. Try and go for 10 seconds without stopping. Rest for 10 seconds and repeat 4 times. Moving into exercise 3, now we're going to work forwards and backwards and also from side to side. So a little bit more coordination needed with this one. We're going to work from the outside, we're going to go into the middle, through the cones, out to the opposite side around the front and back to the start. We're going to get quicker and quicker once we get confident with it, and we're going to drive our arms in synchronization once again. Try and spend as little time on your feet as possible. You really want short, quick steps, going from side to side, being really light on your feet. Once again, 10 seconds on, 10 seconds off, repeat 4 times. For the 4th exercise, we're going to work on diagonal and lateral movements. So we're going to start at the back of the 2 cones. We're going to go in between the cones, leading with our right foot first. So diagonal through, regain our footing, lateral across, and then backwards diagonal through. Then we're back to the start, then we're going to repeat. So we're going to get in this pattern here, making sure we're aware of that back cone so we don't hit it, staying light on those feet, and we're going to get quicker and quicker and quicker as we get confident with it. With this one, 4 repetitions once again of 10 seconds with 10 seconds of rest in between, but make sure you're alternating each time which leg you're leading with. So if the first 2 you led with the right foot, make sure you lead with the left foot on the second 2. And for the 5th and final exercise, we're going to work on crossing our feet, both in front of each other and behind. Because in a match, sometimes you will be changing direction and you have to cross your feet over. So if you're not light on your feet and coordinated, it's easy to get tangled. You're either going to trip up or it's just going to slow down your movement. So this is the exercise here. We're going to start on the outside of the cones. We're going to step across into the middle, get both feet, and then step behind, outside. Then we're going to step behind and then in front. And we're going to repeat this pattern. So we're going in front, and then we're going behind. In front, behind.
Point number 1, you better get that stamina in the game. Most of you guys are afraid because you don't want to run after training and you don't want to run when you wake up, you don't want to run at night. I get it. The whole point is, as a pro, we want to be match fit. So the best place for you to train your stamina and your fitness is in games. Practice games, preferably. Training games, even better. And why? Because you can get fit just through playing. If you don't think that's possible, the real issue might be, how hard are you trying at training? Because you can run up and down, or you can cheat and just kind of crawl and let the game come to you and then hope for some crazy reason that in the game you're fully fit. It won't happen. Use the games, use trainings, use everything. That's the very first point. That's way more fun than having to run 500 miles right after training. Each position is not made the same. You need to figure out what stamina requests, what requirements does your position have. The goalies, they do this most of the game. They're chilling, straight up, just good stuff. Awesome. I'm just kidding, goalies. You guys are really weird though. Strikers, the sprints, you're gonna have to be ready to be on your game. The second the ball gets played over the top, you need to go. Train that, make sure you do that. As a winger, up and back, you've gotta be able to go all of these times, right? So as a player, figure out what and when you yourself are tired. Analyze your own game, all right? So you're gonna do fitness with your team, they don't really care. Everybody kind of does the same fitness. Well, that doesn't make sense, right? You as a winger, you've got different requirements. You as a central midfielder who has to get up and back and maybe does need more long distance running, you've got to do it. You as a striker, maybe you don't need much of that. You walk a lot of the time and then you boom and you go. Train all of your stamina like this. The best players understand their game, understand themselves, and that's what makes them superstars. Boom! Last but not least, my friends, you've got to rest. So many people out there trying to increase their stamina by doing everything all at once. I'm not fit. Great. Tomorrow I'm going to run 7,000 miles. and then I'll be fit. It doesn't work like that. You've got to be able to chill because you've got to be able to explode when it matters. Stamina is a balance act, okay? All teams now, we wear heart monitors, all right? We wear things to let us know how far we're running, where we're going, all this stuff. We know, we analyze these things. And overworking will not make you a better player, and it will not make you fit. Eventually you're gonna crash and you're gonna have to do the rest that we already told you. So make sure to eat well, make sure to sleep well, all right? Make sure that you are taking or getting all of the correct minerals and vitamins. Have all that stuff in your diet. Otherwise, you are not going to be as fit as you can be. There are tons of things also that are related to stamina that you probably don't think. Alcohol's probably not gonna help you. Drugs probably aren't gonna help you. That last cheeseburger's probably not gonna help you. The donuts aren't helping. All the rest of that stuff, you know, is probably not helping. By the way, you know how this at 2 a.m. in the morning is also probably not helping. This is not raining cash, by the way, okay? This is a guy scrolling up and down, looking for the next stamina thing. Go to sleep, all right? Get some rest. Rest is just as important part of stamina as all of the other things that we've said here today. Goodbye.
So today, my friends, I'm gonna give you 3 drills that you can use to drastically improve your fitness and your stamina on the pitch. And while I know it really sucks to have to do these things, it's very, very important, and I guarantee you're gonna feel much better on the pitch if you take this seriously. And if you want to improve as a footballer, make sure to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell to get tips and tricks every time we release a new video. But you might ask yourself, if fitness really sucks that bad, why is it so equally important? Well, look at it this way. You make so many little sprints and runs over the course of 90 minutes, which means that if your fitness levels are bad and really low, you're gonna be running on fumes and really struggle in the last parts of the match, which also means that you can't make those little extra runs that you might want to, or you might simply mess up because you're too tired and your head's gone. And of course that doesn't work, because this means that also CR7 and Hazard, Neymar, Messi, Mbappe, all the big stars who are doing great things with the ball, they also do a lot of fitness work all the time to make sure they're constantly sharp throughout the entire match. First up is the zigzag explosion, which is a good one because it trains your explosiveness, as the name suggests, by making very strong accelerations, but also really trains your muscles into making quick, sharp turns. Now the course is set up like this, in a diamond shape with a cone in the middle, and you start off by standing on your tiptoes with your back to the course. Then you turn around, you make a fast acceleration to the middle, and you run the entire length of the course, of course, at full speed. Then you take a 5-second breather and you do the whole thing again, running the opposite way, back to where you came from. Take another break and then do the whole thing 10 times. Next up, we're gonna improve your high intensity stamina with the square of pain, which is a name I came up with myself because this can really sting. But it's essentially a square of cones with 20-25 meters in between and an agility ladder at the end. So what you do is you sprint down to the agility ladder. You turn around, go through it with some quick steps, and then continue around the square, running at approximately 85% of your max speed. And when you're done running around the square, you really stress your muscles by finishing off with the agility ladder once more. Then you can take a breather of 15 to 20 seconds and then go do the whole thing again. And usually I do this between 8 or 10 times, depending on how good of a day it is. But remember, pain is temporary, glory is forever. Finally, we have the drill I love to hate, because it really kinda sucks. It's called the Scottish run or the suicide run, and it's basically 3 cones 5, 10 and 15 meters away, where you completely all out sprint to the first cone, turn around, go back to the start, and then continue on to the next one. And here you really have to eat yourself, because you're gonna do this, go back, rest for 30-45 seconds, and then go again for 8 to 10 times. So eat yourself, because it's gonna push your fitness levels, your willpower, and your muscles, your stamina to the absolute limit.
But it's worth it because in time, you're gonna be able to cope with these high intensity sprints in a match, so you won't be completely gassed after just a 10-meter sprint.
Okay, you've now officially got the tools to become a physical monster, so all that's left is to go out there and actually do it. Prove that you want it, and then of course come back and order some boots on unisportstore.com in the link to your right to celebrate that you're now mad fit. And subscribe, of course, to the channel. Look, I'm gonna bounce. See you later. I'm signing off. Cheerio.